Okay, this is what you just finished completing. You were writing about an adventure that you hope to have when you go to a place. Today's vocabulary term is rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhymes falling at the ends of a poem's lines. And in this poem, you can see that they circled the words at the end and they used specific colors. And so to figure out rhyme scheme, we just need to focus on the end of a line. The ones that are circled in orange, cloud and crowd, are code A. The ones circled in green, hills and daffodils, are code B. And trees and breeze are C. So if we were naming the rhyme scheme of the poem, we would say the letters represented. So this would be A, B, A, B, C, C. And we did some work in Benchmark and we looked at some poems that had an A-B rhyme scheme. And you can see by this one that it can get more and more complex. This next poem that I want to share with you is called The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. I want you to follow along while we listen.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Okay, I want to take a look at the rhyme scheme. We'll start in the first stanza. And the words that rhyme are would, stood, could. So those would be the A's. And then both and undergrowth would be the B's. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Let's see if that continues. There rhymes with where and there, so those are the A's, and then claim and same rhyme. So let's see if it's the same pattern. This would be A, B, A, B. So you can see the rhyme scheme continues. In the third stanza, lay, day, and way are the A's, and then black and back are the B's. A, B, A, B. And then in the last stanza, sigh, I, and by, and then hence and difference. So we have a pattern of A, B, A, B. So you can see that Robert Frost kept the rhyme scheme through the entire poem. In every stanza, it's the same rhyme scheme. I know of several fifth graders that are required to memorize this poem, and we don't do a lot of work of memorizing poems, but I would give it to you just as a challenge, to challenge yourself. And I want to tell you the good things that happen to your brain when you memorize something. It trains your brain to remember things. It challenges your brain. It makes your brain more quick and agile. And just the act of memorizing something increases your focusing skills. And then, in addition to that, you just sound impressive. If you could just say this poem off of the top of your head to somebody, they would be very impressed with you. Okay, this is the beginning of information about your next task, which is pet peeve poetry. A pet peeve is something specific that especially annoys you, often more than it annoys others. What is your pet peeve? What is something that really, really irritates you? Okay, so you'll be thinking of it. Here's some examples. Things like homework, an annoying habit, leftovers for dinner, a sound, a smell, your alarm clock. You'll have a page where you'll brainstorm a list of things that are your pet peeves that really annoy you. And then you will come up with similes. And then remember that a simile is a comparison between two unlike things using like or as. Here's the example. The sound of my alarm clock in the morning is as awful as the sound of long nails screeching down a chalkboard. Okay, when the video is over, you'll have 2 pages to fill in. This first one is your brainstorming. In the top section, you will type in things that irritate, annoy, or just really bug you. For me, it would be high-pitched noises. And other things that bug me is when people don't clean up after themselves. Those are probably my top 2. In the middle, after you've made a list, you'll pick the thing that irritates you the most. And then in the last, you'll think of similes that you could use in your poem. So in the example, they compared it to the sound of nails scratching on a chalkboard. So you'll make an idea of things that you could compare your pet peeve to. And then after you finish your brainstorming page, you will type your poem on the page, My Pet Peeve Poetry. You'll click on it and you'll type your poem, and the wording is up to you. Your poem has to include a simile. So you'll have your pet peeve and then a comparison with the word like or as, and then the simile that you're comparing how bad your pet peeve is. And I put this on here. I didn't know if you realized, but this month is National Poetry Month. And that's one reason that we're focusing on poetry right now. Okay, you're going to go ahead and click off the video and go back to the Google Slides, and then go ahead and fill in the 2, your brainstorming page, and then the Cloud Speech Bubble page where you type your poem about your pet peeve, and then you're finished for today. And I will be back here tomorrow for your 3rd day of your poetry lesson. Have a great day.